As of the 1st of February, the government categorized Thailand's 77 provinces into 5 zones with specific measures in place depending on the level of risk as follows: maximum controlled zone in Samut Sakon, highly controlled zone in the 4 provinces near Bangkok, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, and Samut Prakan. Controlled zones consisting of 20 provinces, high surveillance zones consisting of 17 provinces, and surveillance zones consisting of 35 provinces. And the Tourism Authority of Thailand has provided a summary of the travel measures in the provinces following this announcement of relaxation of measures. Information, as you see on screen, can be accessed from tatnews.org. This is, however, a guideline summary and should be used for reference. Travelers are advised to check with local provincial authorities for specific requirements to date, which may change constantly depending on the evolving situation in the country. I'll turn to the number of cases and general situation that we have for today. New confirmed cases, 809, out of which the majority, which is 751, are from active case finding. And this 751 cases mostly are from Samut Sakon, with only 1 from another province, Ratchaburi. So the number of new recoveries that we record for today is 797. You may notice that the number of new recoveries is quite high, which is good news, and it's almost leveling out with the number of new confirmed cases, 797 versus 809. So it's very good to hear that the number of recoveries are getting higher, and the confirmed cases we have, of course, are from active case finding. Excuse me. The cumulative number of cases that we have is over 22,000 since last year, and the number of recoveries total since last year, over 14,000, as you can see on screen. The number of cases that are still active, that are still under treatment in our medical facilities, is 7,181. So just some observations from the cases that we have. 45 cases of the new recorded cases are detected in hospitals and healthcare facilities. Most of this number, 36 out of the 45, are found in Samut Sakon. The new cases from active case finding, which is 751, most of them are from Samut Sakon, as mentioned. And as you can see, the health authorities continue to find new cases of COVID in Samut Sakon, especially in factories and migrant worker dormitories. Bangkok and Mae Sot district, due to the increased efforts in conducting proactive tests. But overall, the outbreak situation is improving, while the areas where new cases are detected are still limited to certain locations. Lastly, 13 cases today are from overseas. People are repatriating back from overseas and are in the state quarantine, directly into the state quarantine system. Currently, the confirmed cases around the world has reached 104 million cases. Thailand now ranked at 115 in the world in terms of the number of infected persons. Some additional information. For those who are in Bangkok, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration announced additional measures on closing more venues temporarily from the 3rd of February 2021 onwards. And you have an infographic on screen, courtesy of the Public Relations Department. It includes preschool child development centers, child care centers, located in the high-risk areas of Bang Bon District, Pasir Chareun District, and Nong Kham districts. And the CCSA will continue to update you on this development. I mentioned about Sarakham province, the cluster there yesterday. To date, authorities continue to conduct active case finding of over 4,000 people in that province, with 2,477 or 60% of the results coming back negative. So mostly 60% is negative, while we are waiting for the other results of the other tests. So the number of infected persons totally in Sarakham cluster currently stands at 21. At present, this particular province has already elevated the town and district, the city, Mueang district, and Kantarawishai district as maximum controlled zones with strict disease prevention measures enforced. And as you can see on screen, yesterday the governor of Sarakam province led authorities, businesses, and people in the province to conduct a big cleaning day, big cleaning mission in the central market area and nearby places to ensure that the highest sanitary measures were met. Yes, you have that on screen. So just to recall again that the authority for each measure in each particular province are under the governor of that province according to the situation, and the classification, the more stringent measures, may be in particular districts only, not province-wide, not the whole province, but only in certain districts in that province. So that's how detailed we are getting, and that's how it's necessarily flexible in terms of the analysis, in terms of the measures that we put in place in each particular district. Probably sometimes not the whole province is at risk. So moving on to Samut Sakon province. At present, more than 12,000 infections so far recorded in Samut Sakon province. Of these, about 9,000 were found in 7 major factories, which employ over 50,000 workers, mostly migrant workers from our neighboring country of Myanmar. And this is a recap of the charts and the data that was shown by Dr. Tuisin. So the Public Health Emergency Operations Center of that province, Samut Sakon, decided to use the strategy which we call the bubble and seal strategy to seal off 7 major factories where many workers are infected, and forbidding workers to leave the factory compound until the end of February. So it's sort of like a factory quarantine type of bubble and seal measure that we mentioned earlier. And during the past few weeks, health officials had focused on proactive screening to find infected persons in factories and communities in Samut Sakon. But from now on, the focus will be shifting to the controlling of the spread of the virus in at-risk areas, including factories and among the at-risk groups. Just to mention about the active case finding that we had been, the missions that we have been conducting in the past weeks, they have more or less been quite successful, because with the 10,000 number of persons being tested in each specific targeted area or factory or number of factories per day, we have found around 7% positive rate. So out of 10,000 active case finding in per day in Samut Sakon, around 700 or 800 positive cases, 7% have been found to be positive. That's why we have the 700 or 800 plus number of people being infected confirmed for each day, and most are from this group that I'm talking about, active case finding. So quite a large number of people being targeted, and with positive results being rooted out and placed into the medical system. For these active case finding missions, and Dr. Tuisin had mentioned this, each day the active case finding mission costs around 20 million baht, or 666,000 US dollars per day. So that is how much we are investing per day to have targeted results in particular areas or factories. So around 20 million baht budget per day to test the over 10,000 persons per day. And the results have come back good, because we have been able to identify many positive cases in this regard. And this active case finding will still continue in the coming days, although we'll be shifting to other methods, because perhaps we have almost completed the active case finding in the very risky factories or areas already. We have almost completed that in terms of location. So just some additional points before closing today. Just to remind everyone to continue observing DMHTT, distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, testing, and the Thai Chana Mo Chana application. Very important to continue to abide by and practice these very crucial measures for us to maintain the containment and the level of control that we have in Thailand. A last issue, just a few days ago, I mentioned about the knowledge bank on COVID, which is compiled by the Thailand International Cooperation Agency, or TICA, the agency that provides assistance to countries in terms of development assistance. So this is another useful source of English language information on COVID in Thailand. Details are on the website taika-thaigov.mfa.go.th as shown on screen. Yes, so actually many useful sources of information that people, the English language community here in Thailand, as well as our friends and neighbors in our neighboring countries, the countries that we have development projects with. This is another source of good information, as I mentioned the other day. They're actually kind of like video clips of the more deeper kind of analysis, the scientific information as well. So all of this for the more widespread information of the general public. So I guess this is all I have for today. I've recapped a number of issues, including additional issues for the English language audience. Today is Thursday. It's almost the end of this week, and we'll continue to provide you with the information tomorrow and the days ahead as long as it is necessary. If you have any inquiries, if you have any questions, you can send it through the inboxes on social media. We do have a team monitoring the social media accounts, Facebook, website, Twitter, the various official accounts of the government, the CCSA, the Foreign Ministry, Health Ministry, and other agencies as well. So when those messages, those queries are conveyed to us, and then when we have an answer, we will surely address those concerns for you on air through other means as appropriate. So thank you very much, and thank you for your attention. สวัสดีครับ
ขอขอบพระคุณนะครับท่านณัฐพานุ นพประคุณรองอธิบดีกรมสารนิเทศและรองโฆษกกระทรวงการต่างประเทศครับคุณผู้ชมครับรายการในช่วงบ่ายที่ทำเนียบรัฐบาลจะเป็นเรื่องที่เกี่ยวข้องกับการสมัครสอบเพื่อเข้ารับราชการในส่วนของภาคกของกพนะครับแล้วก็มีข่าวออกมาว่าเปิดรับมากกว่า 800,000 ที่นั่งจึงได้รับความสนใจจากประชาชนทั่วไปแล้วก็เป็นไปตามมติครม.ที่จะเร่งรัดการบรรจุข้าราชการด้วยในวันนี้เราเชิญผู้บริหารจากสำนักงานคณะกรรมการข้าราชการพลเรือนหรือกพ.มาพูดคุยกันในช่วงเวลา 14 นาฬิกาใครมีคำถามสงสัยสามารถติดตามกันได้นะครับนี่คือทั้งหมดของการแถลงข่าวนะครับคุณผู้ชมกลับมาติดตามได้ทุกวันเวลา 11:30 นาทีวันนี้ผมธีวัชชูรัตน์พร้อมทีมงานทุกคนต้องขอตัวลาไปก่อนสำหรับวันนี้สวัสดีครับ